Ditekanyetso tsena tsa mahareng a selemo di tla nakong ena eo naha e tobaneng le diphephetso tse kgolo tsa moruo o fokolang. Sekgahla se hodimo haholo sa tlhoko ya mesebetsi, ditlamorao tse bohloko tsa sewa sa COVID-19 le ho kgaolwa kgafekgafetsa ha phepelo ya motlakase.
I wish to take this opportunity, Madam Speaker and honourable members, to pay tribute to the resilience of the people of South Africa during these hard and trying times. On many occasions, when faced with extreme difficulties, we have always managed to emerge even stronger.
Letona le re boholo ba tjhelete eo mmuso o tlilong ho e sebedisa dilemong tse tharo tse tlang ke reretsweng ho ntlafatsa phano ya ditshebeletso le ho imulla bafumanehi.
About 60% of total non-interest spending, as I've said earlier, annually goes towards housing development, free fee, basic services, employment programs, health, education, social grants, among other things. Overall, the South African government is acknowledged as having one of the most comprehensive and expansive social security system in the world.
Godongwana o re tjhelete ya kimollo ya COVID-19 e tsejwang ka hore ke Ramaphosa grant e tla ekeletswa nako ho fihlela ka Tlhakubele isao ha ditherisano tse mabapi le ho tsebahatswa ha lenaneo le letjha la tjhelete ya dithuso tsa mmuso di ntse di tswela pele.
The grant has benefited about 9.5 million South Africans. This is over and above the existing social security grants. Today, 27.8 million South Africans are social grant recipients of one or another. This accounts for about 46% of our population.
Godongwana o boletse hore diranta tse dibilione tse 74 di tlo sebedisetswa mananeo a ntlafatso ya setjhaba nako ya dilemo tse tharo tse tlang. Tabeng ya meputso ya basebeletsi ba mmuso, Godongwana o boletse hore mmuso o sa ikemiseditse ho lefa diperesente tse 1.5 e le tsanyolo ya meputso e sanetsweng le di-union dikgweding tse 5 tse fetileng fela ha fana ka nako ya hore seo se tla etsahala neng.
There's a wage agreement, they must honor it. It can't be delayed. The minute the government starts delaying it, it just clouds the collective bargaining. It undermines workers' confidence in signing agreements with government. And bearing in mind that the 2020 wage agreement, government walked away from it unilaterally. So when you delay it, it just tells workers that it's difficult to trust government to honor its commitment.
Letona ha le rata ho tshwaela mabapi le mohato o mmuso o tlong ho nka mokgahlelong o motjha wa ditherisano tsa mepuso ya basebeletsi ba mmuso tsa selemo se setjha sa ditjhelete tse lebeletsweng ho simolla haufinyane.
Ho sa le jwalo letona le re moruo wa naha o tlong ka nako ho ka boela o tsitsa monongwaha tlhokeho e matla e tswang dinaheng tsa matjhaba ya diminerale tse rafshwang kwano naheng e matlafaditse pokello ya lekgetho kwano lapeng.
Tona ya ditjhelete Enoch Godongwana o re mathata ao a hlotšego ke COVID-19 ke a magolo kudu. Fela ekonomi ya Afrika Borwa e laetša go tia gare ga mathata a. E thekgwa ke kgolo ya kgahlego go ditšweletša tša meepo tša monogae go hlotšego kgolo ya letseno ya SARS ka 120 billion rand le nyaga go fihla ga bjale. Go letetše gore ekonomi e tla gola ka diperesente tše 5.4 se ka morago go gwahlafala ka diperesente tše 6.4 ngwagola e tla gola ka peresente e 1.8 ngwaga o tlang. Go sebele bonnete bja gore ekonomi tla gola ga kakang go tšwa go mathata a dikago kudu go tshepagale ga kabo ya motlakase ga Eskom se sengwe seo se tshwenyago ke go se hlabe tshwana ya thibela ya COVID-19 go gorago gore ge go ka ba le luba le lengwe go tla ama setšhaba le ditirelo tša ekonomi gampe. Go hlohleletša ekonomi go gola mmušo o re o tla lebeledišiša tša mašeleng le go lokiša maemo a dikago ao a sa kgahlišego.
These reforms should focus on improving competitiveness, productivity, investment and employment. Our first and immediate task in this regard must be to ensure stable energy supply, reduce the risk of load shedding, and accelerate the transition to renewable energy sources.
Tlhoba boroko ye nngwe ke dikoloto tša mmušo le kelo ya tswala ya tšona mmušo o na le dikoloto tša go dira 4 trillion rand gomme go ranta ye nngwe le ye nngwe ya letseno disente tše 20 di ya go lefeleng dikoloto mo nkabe go di šomišetšwa go kaonafatša kabelo ya ditirelo. Fela ditsebi di re Afrika Borwa e ka no lebelelwa ka leihlo le le kaone ge di rating agencies di tla be di lebelediša maemo a ditšhelete a naga kgweding yona ye.
So we don't expect the credit rating agencies to give us a downgrade when they meet in November this year. In fact, we expect to see our credit ratings remain on hold for a while. Of course, much will depend on the 2021 budget next year. The reality of the situation, however, is that while there has been some improvement in the ratio, certainly, and even a slight improvement in the rand value of debt nevertheless still continues to rise quite substantially.
mmušo o roka se ithwešhe maikarabelo a mananeo a maswa ga bjale goba go fa dikhamphani tša mmušo tšeo di lego mathateng tšhelete ye nngwe mo mengwageng ye meraro yeo e tlago. Gloria Sefako Musi, SABC News, Parliament.
Jale re tla utlwa maikutlo a mega e fapana dipolotiki ba mabapi le puo ena ya ditekanyetso.
The issue of economic growth, which is up at 5%, is encouraging. There is a slight good news from the budget that was presented in February. That is the economic growth. And of course, we see tax collection is up by 120 billion on the commodity boom. That is encouraging.
One of the biggest problems currently is that our expenditure is out of control. And the adjustment budget does not really curb expenditure, especially with regards to the public wage bill. And it is still out of control.
The finance minister has spoken about the issue of, debt service costs, and particularly where he talks about the debt now touching almost 4 trillion rand. However, he has not convinced us that there's any mechanisms he's intending to put in place to reduce such debt service costs, and we can only see it increasing.
He's cut from the same austerity cloth as his predecessors, such as Ditekanyetso, and that even when he was internally leading economic transformation in the ANC, you could never come up with a sophisticated policy to create employment and to grow our economy. So they are over-reliance on direct foreign investment, they have an over-reliance on private investment and privatization, because they have a naive assumption that the private sector is less corrupt than the public sector, which is not based on any objective reality. So we are not surprised by the midterm budget that has been delivered today, because we expected that they have a policy posture of over-reliance on investment where there's been no verifiable evidence that the private sector has the interests of this economy at heart. Rather, it is more committed to making profit than anything else.